Okay. All right. 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 Number 7. Numbers chapter 7. And it came to pass on the day that Moses had fully set up the tabernacle and had anointed it and sanctified it and all the instruments thereof, both the altar and all the vessels thereof, and had anointed and sanctified them, that the princes of Israel, heads of the house of their fathers, who were the princes of the tribes, and were over them, that were numbered, offered, and they brought their offering before the Lord, 6 covered wagons and 12 oxen, a wagon for 2 of the princes, and for each one an ox, and they brought them before the tabernacle. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Take it of them, that they may be to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and thou shalt give them unto the Levites, to every man, according to his service. And Moses took the wagons and the oxen, and gave them unto the Levites. 2 wagons and 4 oxen he gave unto the sons of Gershon, according to their service. And 4 wagons and 8 oxen he gave unto the sons of Merari, according unto their service, under the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest. But unto the sons of Kohath he gave none, because the service of the sanctuary belonging unto them was that they should bear upon their shoulders. And the princes offered for dedicating of the altar in the day that it was anointed. Even the princes offered their offering before the Lord, before the altar. And the Lord said unto Moses, They shall offer their offering, each prince day for the dedicating of the altar. And he that offered his offering the first day was Nashon, the son of Aminadab, of the tribe of Judah. And his offering was 1 silver charger. The weight thereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. Both of them were full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 spoon of 10 shekels of gold, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Nashon, the son of Aminadab. On the second day, Nathaniel, the son of Zuar, prince of Issachar, did offer. He offered for his offering 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. The spoon of gold of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Nathaniel, son of Zuar. On the third day, Eliab, the son of Helon, prince of the children of Zebulun, did offer. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Eliab, the son of Helon. On the fourth day, Eliezer, the son of Shedeur, prince of the children of Reuben, did offer. His offering was 1 silver charger of the weight of 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Eliezer, the son of Shedeur. On the fifth day, Shalumiel, the son of Zurishaddai, prince of the children of Simeon, did offer. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Shelumiel, the son of Zurishaddai. On the 6th day, Eliasaph, the son of Duel, prince of the children of God, of Gad, offered. His offering was 1 silver charger of the weight of 130 shekels, a silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering, 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Eliasaph, the son of Duel. On the 7th day, Elishama, the son of Ammihud, prince of the children of Ephraim, offered. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering, the golden spoon of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Elishama, the son of Ammihud. On the 8th day offered Gamaliel, the son of Pedazur, children of the prince of the children of Manasseh. His offering was 1 silver charger of the weight of an offer of 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering, 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Gamaliel, the son of Pedazur. On the 9th day, Abidan, the son of Gideoni, prince of the children of Benjamin, offered. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering, 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Abidan, the son of Gideoni. On the 10th day, Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai, prince of the children of Dan, offered. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, one silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. One golden spoon of 10 shekels full of incense, one young bullock, one ram, one lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, one kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai. On the 11th day, Pagiel, the son of Ochran, prince of the children of Asher, offered. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Pagiel, the son of Ochran. On the 12th day of Ahira, the son of Enan, prince of the children of Naphtali, offered. His offering was one silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Ahira, the son of Enan. This was the dedication of the altar, and the day when it was anointed by the princes of Israel. 12 chargers of silver, 12 silver bowls, 12 spoons of gold, each charger of silver weighing 130 shekels, each bowl 70. All the silver vessels weighed 2,400 shekels. After the shekel of the sanctuary, the golden spoons were 12, full of incense, weighing 10 shekels apiece. After the shekel of the sanctuary, all the gold of the spoons was 170 shekels, 120 shekels. All the oxen of the burnt offering were 12 bullocks, the rams 12, the lambs of the first year 12, with their meat offering, and the kids of the goats for sin offering 12. And all the oxen for the sacrifice of the peace offering were 20, and 4 bullocks, the rams 60, the he goats 60, the lambs of the first year 60. This was the dedication of the altar. After that, it was anointed. And when Moses was gone in the tabernacle of the congregation to speak with him, then he heard, and when Moses was gone into the tabernacle of the congregation to speak with him, then he heard the voice of one speaking unto him from off the mercy seat. From off the mercy seat. was upon the ark of the testimony, from between the two cherubims. And he spake unto him. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron, and say unto him, When thou lightest the lamps, the 7 lamps shall give light over against the candlestick. And Aaron did so. He lighted the lamps thereof against the candlestick, as the Lord commanded Moses. And this work of the candlestick was of beaten gold. Unto the shaft thereof, unto the flowers thereof, was beaten work, according to the pattern which the Lord had shown Moses. So he made the candlestick. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Take the Levites from among the children of Israel, and cleanse them. And thus shalt thou do unto them, to cleanse them. Sprinkle water of purifying upon them, and let them shave all their flesh, and let them wash their clothes, and so make themselves clean. Then let them take a young bullock with his meat offering, even fine flour mingled with oil, and another young bullock shalt thou take for a sin offering. And thou shalt bring the Levites before the tabernacle of the congregation, and thou shalt gather the whole assembly of the children of Israel together. And thou shalt bring the Levites before the Lord, and the children of Israel shall put their hands upon the Levites. And Aaron shall offer the Levites before the Lord an offering of the children of Israel, that they may execute the service of the Lord. And the Levites shall lay their hands upon the heads of the bullocks. And thou shalt offer the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering unto the Lord, to make an atonement for the Levites. And thou shalt set the Levites before Aaron and before his sons, and offer them for an offering unto the Lord. Thus shalt thou separate the Levites from among the children of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine. And after that shall the Levites go in to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and thou shalt cleanse them, and offer them for an offering. For they are wholly given unto me from among the children of Israel, instead of such as open every womb, even instead of the firstborn of all the children of Israel, have I taken them unto me. For all the firstborn of the children of Israel are mine, both man and beast, and on the day that I smote every firstborn in the land of Egypt, I sanctified them for myself. And I have taken the Levites for all the firstborn of the children of Israel, and I have taken the Levites for all the firstborn of the children of Israel. And I have given the Levites as a gift to Aaron and to his sons from among the children of Israel, to do the service of the children of Israel in the tabernacle of the congregation, and to make an atonement for the children of Israel, that there be no plague among the children of Israel when the children of Israel come nigh unto the sanctuary. And Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel did to the Levites according to all that the Lord commanded Moses concerning the Levites. So did the children of Israel unto them. And the Levites were purified And they washed their clothes. And Aaron offered them as an offering before the Lord. And Aaron made an atonement for them to cleanse them. And after that went the Levites to do their service in the tabernacle of the congregation before Aaron and before his sons, and the Lord, as the Lord had commanded Moses concerning the Levites, so did they unto them. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, This is it that belongeth unto the Levites, from 25 years old and upward. They shall go in and wait upon the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. And from the age of 50 years they shall cease waiting upon the service thereof, and shall serve no more, but shall minister with their brethren in the tabernacle of the congregation to keep the charge, and shall do no service. Thus shalt thou do unto the Levites touching their charge. All right, all right, all right. Okay. Luke, Luke chapter 7. Now, when he had ended all his sayings in the audience of the people, he entered into Capernaum. And a certain centurion's servant, who was dear unto him, was sick and ready to die. And when he heard of Jesus, he sent unto him the elders of the Jews, beseeching him that he would come and heal his servant. And when they came to Jesus, they besought him instantly, saying that he was worthy for whom he should do this. For he loveth our nation, and he hath built us a synagogue. And Jesus went with them. And when he was now not far from the house, the centurion sent friends to him, saying unto him, Lord, trouble not thyself, for I am not worthy that thou shouldest enter under my roof. Wherefore neither thought I myself worthy to come unto thee, but say in a word, and my servant shall be healed. But say in a word, and my servant shall be healed. For I also am a man set under authority, having under me soldiers. And I say unto one, Go, and he goeth, and to another, Come, and he cometh, and to my servant, Do this, and he doeth it. And Jesus heard these things. He marveled at him, and turned him about, and said unto the people that followed him, I say unto you, I have found so great faith. I have not found so great faith, not in Israel. I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel. And they that were sent, returning to the house, found the servant whole that had been sick. And it came to pass the day after that he went into a city called Nain, and many of his disciples went with him, and much people. Now when he came nigh to the gate of the city, behold, there was a dead man carried out, the only son of his mother, and she was a widow. And much people of the city was with her. And when the Lord saw her, he had compassion on her, and said unto her, Weep not. And he came and touched the bier. And they that bare him stood still. And he said, Young man, I say unto thee, arise. And he that was dead sat up and began to speak. And he delivered him to his mother. And there came a fear on all, and they glorified God, saying that a great prophet is risen up among us, and that God hath visited his people. And this rumor of him went forth throughout all Judea and throughout all the region round about. And the disciples of John showed him of all these things. And the disciples of John showed him of all these things. And John called, and John called unto him two of his disciples, sent them to Jesus, saying, Art thou he that should come, or look we for another? When the men were come unto him, they said, John the Baptist hath sent us unto thee, saying, Art thou he that should come, or look we for another? And in that same hour he cured many of their infirmities and plagues, and of evil spirits. And unto many that were blind he gave sight. And Jesus answering said unto them, Go your way, and tell John what things ye have seen and heard, how that the blind see, the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, the dead are raised. To the poor the gospel is preached. To the poor the gospel is preached. And blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. And when the messengers of John were departed, he began to speak unto the people concerning John. What went ye out into the wilderness for to see? A reed shaken with the wind? But what went ye out for to see? A man clothed in soft raiment? Behold, they which are gorgeously apparelled and live delicately are in king's courts. But what went ye out for to see? A prophet? Yea, I say unto you, and much more than a prophet. This is he of whom it is written, Behold, I send my messenger before thy face, which shall prepare thy way before thee. For I say unto you, among those that are born of women, there is not a greater prophet than John the Baptist. But he that is least in the kingdom of God is greater than he. And all the people that heard him and the publicans justified God, being baptized with the baptism of John. But the Pharisees and lawyers rejected the counsel of God against themselves, being not baptized of him. And the Lord said, Whereunto then shall I liken the men of this generation? And to what are they like? They are like unto children sitting in the marketplace, and calling one to another, and saying, We have piped unto you, and ye have not danced. We have mourned to you, and ye have not wept. For John the Baptist came neither eating bread nor drinking wine, and ye say, He hath a devil. The Son of Man is come eating and drinking, and ye say, Behold, a gluttonous man, and a winebibber, a friend of publicans and sinners. But wisdom is justified of all her children. And one of the Pharisees desired him that he would eat with him. And he went into the Pharisee's house and sat down to meat. And behold, a woman in the city, which was a sinner, when she knew that Jesus sat at meat in the Pharisee's house, brought an alabaster box of ointment, and stood at his feet behind him weeping, and began to wash his feet with tears, and did wipe them with the hairs of her head, and kissed his feet, and anointed them with the ointment. Now when the Pharisee which had bidden him saw it, he spake within himself, saying, This man, if he were a prophet, would have known who and what manner of woman this is that toucheth him, for she is a sinner. And Jesus answering unto him, Simon, I have somewhat to say unto thee. And he saith, Master, say on. There was a certain creditor which had two debtors. The one owed 500 pence, and the other 50. And when they had nothing to pay, he frankly forgave them both. Tell me therefore, which of them will love him most? Simon answered and said, I suppose he to whom he forgave most. And he said unto him, Thou hast rightly judged. And he turned to the woman and said unto Simon, Seest thou this woman? I entered into thine house. Thou gavest me no water for my feet, but she hath washed my feet with tears, and wiped them with the hairs of her head. Thou gavest me no kiss, but this woman, since the time I came in, hath not ceased to kiss my feet. My head with oil thou didst not anoint, but this woman hath anointed my feet with ointment. Wherefore I say unto thee, her sins, which are many, are forgiven. For she loved much. But to whom little is forgiven, the same loveth little. And he said unto her, Thy sins are forgiven. And they sat at meat with him, and they that sat at meat with him began to say within themselves, Who is this that forgiveth sins also? And he said unto the woman, Thy faith hath saved thee. Go in peace. Thy faith has saved. Go in peace. Go in peace. Go in peace. Go in peace. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. First Corinthians 10. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink. For they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Christ. But with many of them God was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. Now these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things, as they also lusted. Neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them. As it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink, and rose up to play. Neither let us commit fornication, for some of them, as some of them committed, and fell in one day 320,000. Neither let us tempt Christ, as some of them also tempted, and were destroyed of serpents. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured, and were destroyed of the destroyer. Now all these things happened unto them for examples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. Wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth taketh heed lest he fall. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape. Also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. Wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry. I speak to a wise man. I speak to wise men. I speak as to wise men. Judge ye what I say. The cup of blessing which we bless, is it not the communion of the blood of Christ? The bread which we break, is it not the communion of the body of Christ? For we, being many, are one bread and one body, for we are all partakers of that one bread. Behold, Israel after the flesh, are not they which eat of the sacrifices partakers of the altar? What say I then? That the idol is anything, or that which is offered in sacrifice to idols is anything. But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils, and not to God. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils. Do we provoke the Lord to jealousy? Are we stronger than he? All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. Let no man seek his own, but every man another's wealth. Whosoever is sold in the shambles that eat, asking no question for conscience sake. For the earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof. If any of them that believe not bid you to a feast, and ye be disposed to go, whatsoever is set before you, eat, asking no question for conscience sake. But if any man say unto you, this is offered in sacrifice unto idols, eat not for his sake that showed it, for conscience sake, and for conscience sake. For the earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof. Conscience, I say, not thy own, not thine own, but of the other. For why is my liberty judged of another man's conscience? For if by grace, for if I by grace be a partaker, why am I evil spoken of for that which I give thanks? Whether therefore ye eat or drink, or whatsoever ye do, do all to the glory of God. Give none offense, neither to the Jews, nor to the Gentiles, nor to the church of God, even as I please all men in all things, not seeking my own profit, but the profit of many, that they may be saved. Even as I please all men in all things, not seeking my own profit, but the profit of many, that they may be saved, that they may be saved, that they may be saved. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. Psalm 72, Psalm 72, a Psalm of Solomon. Give thee, give the king thy judgments, O God, and thy righteousness unto the king's son. He shall judge thy people with righteousness, and thy poor with judgment. The mountains shall bring peace to the people, and the little hills by righteousness. He shall judge the poor of the people. He shall save the children of the needy, and shall break in pieces the oppressor. They shall fear thee as long as the sun and moon endure, throughout all generations. He shall come down like rain upon the mown grass, as showers that water the earth. In his days shall the righteous flourish in abundance of peace, so long as the moon endureth. He shall have dominion also from sea to sea, and from the river unto the ends of the earth, that they dwell in the wilderness, that they that dwell in the wilderness, they that dwell in the wilderness shall bow before him, and his enemies shall lick the dust. The kings of Tarshish and of the isles shall bring presents. The kings of Sheba and Seba shall offer gifts. Yea, all kings shall fall down before him. All nations shall serve him. For he shall deliver the needy when he crieth, the poor also, and him that hath no helper. He shall spare the poor and needy, and shall save the souls of the needy. He shall redeem their soul from deceit and violence, and precious shall their blood be in his sight. And he shall live, and to him shall be given of the gold of Sheba. Prayer also shall be made for him continually, and daily shall he be praised. There shall be an handful of corn in the earth upon the top of the mountains. The fruit thereof shall shake like Lebanon, and they of the city shall flourish like grass of the earth. His name shall endure forever. His name shall be continued as long as the sun, and men shall be blessed in him. All nations shall call him blessed. Blessed be the Lord God, the God of Israel, who only doeth wondrous things. And blessed be his glorious name forever, and let the whole earth be filled with his glory. Amen and amen. The prayers of David, the son of Jesse, are ended. Mm. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Prerequisites for industrialization. Black America has the nuts and bolts to industrialize. Many third world countries have fewer resources and competitive advantages than Black America have successfully industrialized. Many third world countries that have fewer resources and competitive advantages than Black America have successfully industrialized. Black America has the required educated class, surplus workforce, raw and cultural resources, disposable incomes, pools of capital, consumer markets, and most importantly, some of the best infrastructure improvements in the world. Having the physical infrastructure in place allows Black America to start industrializing immediately. White society abandoned the inner city infrastructures more than half a century ago. They left Black America the public infrastructure that can serve as empowerment tools to produce wealth and technology. It bears repeating that within most inner cities, there are billions of dollars of wealth in infrastructure, such as expressways, communication systems, water and sewer facilities, buildings, airports, educational institutions, and hospitals. Most of the inner city resources are directly under black political control, but they must be defended. The majority white society realized it abandoned this wealth and is now seeking to retrieve it through such concepts as regionalization, municipal sharing, and privatization. With the infrastructure in place, Black America can build its industries and begin to produce its own technology, just like any other nation. Technology and work. We discussed technology in previous chapters, but it is also a critical consideration in our discussion of industrialization. Over the course of the last 4 decades, millions of people have been permanently eliminated from the workforce by technology. Due to economic and political weakness, are the first to go blacks were the first to go during the 1960s. Technology made blacks an obsolete labor force. Every black person displaced by technology represents a transfer of wealth to the owners of the technology. The owners benefit from the wages they no longer have to pay a black labor force. Approximately approximately 34% of the nation's black workforce is either unemployed or underemployed. They have suffered from having little or no wages for centuries. The wages that could have gone to enslaved blacks were transferred to white slaveholders. In modern times, wealth is transferred to business owners. Black people are always displaced. Yet dominant society continues to introduce technology because it enriches and empowers them. Now, unlike at any other time in history, computer-driven labor is extracting humans from the work equation. Some displaced workers re-educate themselves and become employed in new careers. Others find temporary and part-time jobs. But large numbers simply drop out of the workforce, possibly forever. In this book, in his book, in his book, End of Work, the noted economist Jeremy Rifkin writes about the relationship between technology and economy. He paints a dire picture. According to Rifkin, the United States has entered a new phase in world history, one in which fewer and fewer workers will be needed to produce the goods and services used in this country. He says there's a strong likelihood that by the year 2015, only 25% of the people working today will be needed to produce the same amount of goods and services. And part of the problem is the fact that even in an economic boom, about 95% of all newly created jobs go to white suburbs and not to black inner cities. What happens to black Americans who were unofficially declared an obsolete workforce nearly 40 years ago and today have a hidden national unemployment rate of 34%? Encouraging black people to prepare for jobs in an expanding service industry is only a partial answer. Developing technology will probably wipe out 4 jobs for every one service related job that it creates. Service related positions in global markets may be acceptable for white Americans. They have never been a servant class. Moreover, they have sufficient wealth and control of information technology to compete in a competitive global society. But what will happen to black Americans who are but what will happen to black Americans who are already impoverished, non-producing, completely consumptive group that never profited during the 450 years they were forced to follow white America? How will black Americans compete? And who will protect their markets in a cyberspace or global economy? No race or nation can progress strictly as consumers with magical technology. History shows that technology creates just as many problems as it solves. Technology and industrialization. Technology flows from industry, and a group cannot be strong and competitive without ownership and control of some technology. Technology has a multiplier effect on itself. Each new technological advance becomes the foundation for another innovation or advance. Technological competition is destined to intensify as we become more globally interdependent. Black Americans cannot compete in global economics without industries and technology. Now's the time to get a toehold on some special industries, ones in which we have competitive advantages and can begin to produce our own technology. Otherwise, just as we have never benefited economically through the progression of low technology, we will not benefit economically from the progression of more complex technology. We must start at the beginning by identifying and exploiting the competitive industrial or advantages of being a black nation within the richest nation on earth. A model: Japanese industrialization. If we use the concept of blacks as a nation within a nation, Japan is an appropriate model for how to industrialize and become a major political and economic power using the concept of vertical integration. Vertical integration as a management concept was first used by the Ford Motor Company and Standard Oil more than a century ago. The business practice allowed a single corporation to own and control all levels of a given industry. The corporation's top-down management controlled everything from suppliers of raw materials to distributors and retailers of finished products for the company. As used in Powernomics, vertical integration is much broader. The Japanese shifted the use of vertical integration from a single corporation to a nation of businesses. Thus, they come closer to the Powernomics concept of vertical integration. In addition to the economic feat Japan performed after World War II, which was discussed in Chapter 5, Japan did something else that is important to know. The Japanese linked vertical integration of their businesses with their strong family, cultural, and religious values to give them an edge over competing nations. The vertically integrated socio-economic system that they created is called Kairetsu, which is a closed loop, cohesive group of corporations, suppliers, and financial institutions networked around a particular vertical integrated industry. Vertically integrated industry. Kairetsu protects Japanese industries, community markets, and national economy. Kairetsu protects Japanese industries, community markets, and national economy. Japanese consumers and businessmen feel a strong sense of moral obligation to their Kairetsu network. It is their vertical chain of obligation through which they support each other. This unity of purpose reflects an important cultural strength in Japan. The cultural value of first supporting and buying products produced by their own people. Japan industrialized around its culture. Japan industrialized around its cultural competitive advantages to better compete economically with other nations. Japan's national sense of trust, togetherness, and sense of peoplehood made it possible for industries in their country to take control of the markets for the goods their industries produce: cameras, watches, toys, VCRs, televisions, radios, and small automobiles. Japanese industries grew from small, faltering businesses to hugely successful corporations. People who used to laugh at things stamped Made in Japan began to see Made in Japan as an indicator of quality. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Japan and its kairetsu have many features that Black America can study and adopt. Most important is Japan's closed economic loop that links Japanese businesses and all segments of their community into a solid economic team. This is their greatest competitive advantage. Their team commitment and spirit lifted a militarily defeated, impoverished, resource limited minority population to economic superpower status. Can a similar but expanded vertical industrial policy do the same for Black Americans? Powernomics principles advocate using a similar vertical linking of businesses to build group wealth and power. To build group wealth and power. To build group wealth and power. The fact that Kairetsu has been criticized and that Japan has experienced some economic downturns since the 1990s does not diminish the power of the example for Black people, or Black America rather. Okay, rationale and criteria for industrializing. Any particular business sectors that Black Americans select to industrialize their communities must be based upon the strength of Black Americans' competitive advantages and the potential for vertically integrating the industries. The criteria that we use to determine our competitive advantages were presented in Chapter 5. Some of the competitive some of the competitive factors include customer demand, high black customer demand, cultural identification, control of raw materials, and potential to build vertically in whole or in part. Now, let's look at some industries. Now, let's look at some industries using these factors as criteria. General industries like computers, boating, footwear, cattle, or construction industries would not meet our purposes. In a test of industries, we must determine the level of black consumer demand. Are blacks culturally attracted to any of these industries? Do blacks dominate in either the production of raw materials or in spending patterns? Clearly, none of these industries have high competitive advantages for black Americans. They are horizontal, they are horizontal industries and apply to everyone. In the construction industry, for instance, blacks do not do not do not dominate the production or purchasing of paint, wood, or concrete. Blacks buy homes, but so do most other people in society. If everyone is equally represented, there are no competitive advantages for blacks, and the opportunities are therefore horizontal, not vertical. Conversely, professional sports is a far different industry. This industry lends itself to vertical integration, and it is an approved venue for blacks. Slavery made athletics a safe area in which blacks could emotionally and physically vent, compete, and dominate. The vertical integration of an industry works best when our competitive advantages are linked to our culture, labor pool, disposable annual income, and urban cities in which blacks have political control. Using our out of the box thinking, we can take negative historical conditions and convert them into competitive advantages, such as concentrated populations, and consumer spending patterns, which can help us to industrialize. For more details, see Chapter 5, Economic Action Plan, Step number 9. Promote the competitive advantages of black communities. How to industrialize black America. This following section presents specific strategies black America can use to build industries and discusses 3 strategies that incorporate powernomics principles useful for guiding the industrialization of black communities. They place recapture sunset industries. First, black America's in national industrial policy should prioritize the recapture of many of the major sunset industries. For the past 4 decades, the nation has competitively lost or voluntarily given to second and third world countries many bread and butter industries, such as steel, textiles, footwear, watches, household appliances, toys, and electronic equipment, including radios, boom boxes, televisions, VCRs, and kitchenware. As these industries left the United States, collateral damage resulted. This nation lost hundreds of thousands of supportive businesses and jobs. Government trade and industrial policies, such as the 1994 North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, rewarded corporations that abandoned America and moved to third world countries. Communities throughout the United States, especially in black neighborhoods, suffered a double loss. While NAFTA modernizes Mexico's industries and successfully resolves Mexico's socioeconomic problems, it is creating new problems for black Americans. This nation's public policies reduce the quantity of American businesses and jobs while increasing the number of businesses and jobs within competing nations. Since the 1990s, the NAFTA policy has created 2.6 million jobs in Mexico and boosted Mexico to the second biggest supplier of foreign made goods to the United States. Yet, the same United States government failed to create an industrial program to help Black America resolve its national 34% unemployment, 38% poverty, and phenomenal overrepresentation in the penal systems in the very same cities that American industries abandoned. This is blind indifference towards Black America. Nations such as Mexico want the industries abandoned by the U.S. because they not only resolve many social and economic problems, but industries also bring wealth, jobs, political power, and supportive businesses. Most importantly, industries enable the people to become producers. People with industries can produce power and wealth as well as products. The sunset industries that were moved to third world countries through treaties such as NAFTA could have been retrofitted and relocated into black communities to provide an industrial base of wealth, business, and employment opportunities. If relocated industries do well in third world countries like Mexico, why wouldn't they do equally as well in black communities? Since black Americans are a primary market for the products third world countries produce, such as shoes and clothing, why can't blacks build their own clothing and shoe industry? Then distribute those products to black owned businesses within their own consumer markets and communities. Abandoned industries brought back into operation, just like all other industries, thrive wherever they are needed and supported. Some towns and businesses in the United States never accepted the myth that declining industries should leave the country. These old industries continue to do well within their established traditional communities. On July 6, 2000, the Wall Street Journal reported on one such town, Goshen, Indiana, which retained some of its old industries. The story reported that Goshen does not have many very high paying tech jobs, but it does have a large number of middle paying jobs, mostly in manufacturing. The manufacturing section tends to pay either wages to skilled and unskilled wages. The manufacturing sector tends to pay higher wages to skilled and unskilled workers than many other industries. Goshen Industries retain jobs and offer competitive salaries to its residents. This is only one community that kept its industries. If the United States government needs additional models of how to industrialize inner cities, a May 13th, 2000 Washington Post article offers a suggestion. The Post story was about a national small business incubator program that is providing jobs, businesses, and light industries in rural communities across the United States. According to the article, there are more than 800 business incubator programs in rural areas. The program was designed to help solve socioeconomic problems that inhibit business development, especially in small cities. Since the greatest need for this kind of program is in inner cities, why aren't urban Black Americans exposed to this kind of business development assistance? The article also stated that the smaller town, the smaller the town, the less margin for error in vision, planning, and financing. Most of the jobs the incubators most of the jobs the incubators have created pay $10 to $15 an hour. These jobs pay 2 to 3 times the minimum wage. Such opportunities would be welcomed and quickly grabbed by the unemployed and underemployed blacks in inner cities. Just like the incubator programs mentioned above, some creative planning would allow for a number of abandoned industries to open and operate profitably within black communities while paying decent wages. For example, most of the athletic footwear and boom boxes in America are produced in the Far East. However, in America, it is impoverished blacks who buy approximately 40% of the expensive Air Jordan, Nike, and other athletic shoes and portable radios. Considering black Americans' socioeconomic dilemma, it is worth noting that these consumer items are primarily targeted to black Americans provided okay, okay. Considering black Americans' socioeconomic dilemma, it is worth noting that these consumer items that are primarily targeted to black Americans provided jobs and business opportunities for workers halfway around the world. Thousands of Asian businessmen and thousands of Asian businessmen became multimillionaires from profits earned mostly from products sold to black American consumers. Technology in an urban city. Technology in an urban city factory combined with public incentives and employee ownership arrangements can produce an athletic shoe just as inexpensively as low wage labor in second and third world countries. Today is 45. Okay. Rough out here. Rough out here. Say, are you wearing an ankle monitor? Ándale pues.